What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers game reaction, in which the Chicago Bulls at the end of the day lost the game to Cleveland in another tight and competitive game. This is 3 times, I believe, this season we have versed Cleveland and we've lost in the same way. Close to competitive, very tight, and a couple of mistakes here or there that leads to the Bulls losing the game. Now, you got to give all the respect to Cleveland, second in the Eastern Conference, one of the teams on a hot streak at the moment, and you can kind of see their quality. You can kind of see every time we verse Cleveland, it almost feels like you come out of a dogfight. I mean, I feel exhausted just watching that game, and I can only imagine how the players must be feeling after the game and, going back into the locker room, knowing the physicality that Cleveland bring. So we're going to discuss what went wrong for the Chicago Bulls in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Bulls game today and your player of the game, as we lose the game 108 to 105. Again, 3 points. You can't really ask for much more. Another game where the Bulls kind of dominated for the vast majority up until the fourth quarter, where Cleveland took the lead and never looked back since. Now, when I say dominated, I don't mean we're blowing them out of the water or anything like that, but there was control there for the Bulls. And that's kind of what it felt like for the first half. And then the second half, things kind of stopped. And look, I'm going to say some positives first. I like the fact that we started Drummond and Vucevic in the same game again. I like the idea of us going to this fairly consistently. Again, there are so many teams in the NBA where that might not work. But teams like Cleveland, teams like the Bucks, teams like Minnesota, where you have a massive front line and a center that's about 7 foot tall that could dominate in the paint, you kind of need those types of guys so you can try to get rebounds and try to defend the paint as much as possible. Cleveland are a team that can do that if you decide to play small against them. So even though we lost the game, I like that. And I know Vucevic didn't have a great game. Drummond had a much better game with 10 points and 15 rebounds, and he did very, very well. But at the end of the day, I like the fact that we went to that. And I think that was a good idea by Billy Donovan. And I like the fact that we're in a situation right now where seeing Vucevic and Drummond play together is not a rarity anymore. It can happen from time to time. I still don't think it should be our go-to when we verse the game against Boston, unless they're playing Al Horford and Porzingis together. I wouldn't start that lineup. But still, it's a very positive thing to know that we can adjust according to what teams have to throw at us. So I like that, even though we lost the game. Obviously, the first half was a pretty enjoyable one to watch. I mean, again, the offense for the Bulls was flowing in the first half. We were making a whole bunch of threes, and we were doing a lot of great things offensively. We were getting steals and deflections. We let out in transition, and it was going really, really well. But in the second half, it felt like a completely different game. It felt very slow and stagnant. It felt like the Bulls needed to buy a bucket to get one, and it wasn't as free-flowing, let's say. And that is something that we need to take a deeper dive into in the future as well, because it seems like we have this problem where we can't put all 4 quarters of basketball together. You have one half of really beautiful basketball where it's free-flowing, everybody's involved, the passing is there, everybody's just having a great time. You move to the second half, or even in some instances it's the first half, and you just see a complete meltdown. You see isolation and hero ball. You see players trying to, I guess, go into business for themselves in many ways. And the free-flowing basketball that you once had, you don't have anymore. And it's something that we need to, again, really figure out, because it's a big problem. And if you can't put all 4 quarters of basketball together, you're going to be in close games, yes. But I think it's proven with our record, you don't win all those close games because you end up choking in one way, form, or fashion. Now, I must say as well, when it comes to this game, I felt like the referees as well. I don't usually like to talk about the refs and stuff of that nature, but they let a lot of things go in this game. And to show that I'm not biased, I want to show an example for Cleveland and the Bulls to kind of show what type of game this really was. So we'll start with Cleveland. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell, one of the superstar players, ends up in the first half going up for a layup, in which Torrey Craig is, meets him there, and he ends up blocking Donovan Mitchell, which leads to the Bulls going out in transition and getting an easy bucket. But when you look at the replay, it was very clear and obvious. Torrey Craig absolutely hit the heck out of that guy. Sent him on the floor. He stayed on the floor for a little bit. Torrey Craig did go to check on him afterwards, of course, good sportsmanship and whatnot, but that's a foul. At the end of the day. And that was the type of game it was, where the refs let that go. It's like they couldn't care less who got hit and who didn't get hit. And then for the Bulls side of things, there was one situation where DeRozan was in the post, Niang guarding, I believe. It was a fadeaway shot that DeMar DeRozan did make, but again, going underneath the feet as well as shoving him to the side. So DeMar DeRozan ends up falling out of bounds, and there was a clear push there. I mean, I don't know how they don't see this. The ref is literally right there. No call given. DeMar makes the shot, and Cleveland just go on the other end. That could have been an and one situation. That could have been a massive game changer over the course of the game for the Bulls. And there's even other situations where Niang is dragging Vucevic down and, you know, playing a very physical game. And again, I felt like that was the type of atmosphere and game it was where the refs just simply let them play. Now, in some moments that is good, but when you're versing Cleveland, who are very physical, it's going to benefit them when you let the whistles you put the whistles down a little bit. It's as simple as that. When they play that type of physical game, it's going to hurt the Bulls at the end of the day. They're a physical team. They have been all season. They like to swarm you on defense. They really like to show their physicality with their two big man lineup. And I think we tried to match it, but we're a fouling team as well. You got to put that into consideration as well. We're not necessarily as physical as Cleveland was. So something else we have to take a deeper dive into. Now, I want to look at the fourth quarter real quick, because if you guys were aware, Coby White took the last shot for the Chicago Bulls, and he ended up missing the shot. This shot could have taken us to overtime. We ended up walking away with a loss. Now, again, I know a lot of people are going to go at Coby White for taking that shot. And here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to remain consistent with what I've said all the time. Two things I've said. One, I want to go with the hot hand. Whoever has the hot hand at that moment is the guy that I want to go to. And Coby White today, with 32 points on the game, had the hot hand. So I'm definitely not shying away from that. I wanted him to have the last shot, and he did have the last shot. Number two, you need to let Coby White succeed and fail in these moments. Today, he failed. He missed the big shot to get us into overtime and to continue trying to compete for that game. But he's a young guy. What is he, 23 or 24 years old? And, you know, you have to let him learn from stuff like that. If DeRozan took the shot, people would be going at DeRozan as well, saying, why wouldn't you give it to Coby White? Coby White has the hot hand. Coby White needs to learn in these experiences. You can't go back now and say, why didn't DeMar DeRozan take the last shot? He's our veteran. He's our go-to guy in the clutch. You need to let Coby White learn in these instances. He had a lot of big moments heading into that shot, but he just couldn't get that shot to go. And he will live with that. He will learn from that. And we'll move on. And maybe this situation can help Coby White in the next situation where we're going to need him to bail us out with a shot. So I'm happy. I know it's something I shouldn't be saying when we lose a game, but I'm happy that Coby White took that shot. I'm happy that, you know, he's going to learn from this situation. And I'm very, very positive that we actually went to Coby White in the clutch for once. So I'll take that all day of the week. And look, there's a break coming up for the Bulls. We're going to have a whole week off. We can kind of forget about this game very quickly. But fair play to Cleveland on a tough game, a competitive game, and a game they walked away from a win from. They're a team that will not give up on a game. And I think we can learn a lot from Cleveland, to be honest. You see guys like Donovan Mitchell, right? And you look at how amazing he is scoring-wise. But Cleveland play a great team game. There's not much isolation there for Cleveland where, you know, they're trying to dribble their way into a shot. Yes, there was quite a few of them in the fourth quarter, but that is expected from any team, really. But for the most part, a great team game. Great shooting out there. They've got great shooters out there. That's how they get the bulk of their points going. Good ball movement. They've got guys that can rebound and guys that want to hustle. They play a great game, great coaching. I really can't complain. Again, Cleveland's the type of team I look at and I say, look at that team and how they became successful over the course of these last 2 years. You can learn from someone like Cleveland. You can learn from a team like Cleveland. And I hope, even though we've lost 7 consecutive games against them, we are learning more and more from Cleveland. I hope we do learn more from Cleveland about the hustle of the game and about passing of the game and how that can affect winning. Because I think that is something we do need to work on just a tad bit more when it comes to bringing all 4 quarters together. But that's all I've got to say. My player of the game is Coby White. It sucks that he missed the 3-point shot to go, but lesson learned. There's always a lesson that you can learn in a defeat, and that is a lesson I'm going to take out of it, and hopefully Coby could do the same. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. I will see you in the game reaction. Sorry if it's a little bit echoey. I didn't bring my microphone. I didn't bring my whole setup because it's a holiday. I'm not bringing my whole setup for a holiday. So you're going to have to deal with the phone audio and the phone camera and stuff of that nature, but I think it'll be okay. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.